Hi, I'm Lucy Haig and I'm going to show you how to graft in pattern. Now, I'm going to assume in this tutorial that you already have some experience with grafting in stockinette stitch in knitting, so if you don't, I would suggest you go and look that up. Grafting in pattern is very similar to grafting in stockinette stitch. There are just a few different steps you need to learn, and the thing that you need to pay attention to is the next two stitches which are on your front needle. So in regular grafting in stockinette stitch, or Kitchener stitch as it's also called, you're using a needle and you're inserting the needle as if to knit, taking that stitch off, then inserting the needle as if to purl, leaving it on. So knit off, purl on, and then on the back needle it's purl off, knit on. So here you can see my next two stitches. I have a knit stitch and a purl stitch coming up. So I have to do something different, and I'm going to knit off with the needle, then I'm going to knit on and pull the yarn through, and then on the back needle I'm going to knit on, knit off, sorry, and then purl on. So it's just a slightly different step. Rather than it being knit, purl, purl, knit, which is the usual mantra, you're doing knit, 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 purl. Okay? Now, because the next two stitches are two purl stitches, again it's slightly different, and in fact I have a few purl stitches coming up, so this is just reverse stockinette grafting. So it's the exact reverse of normal stockinette grafting, which, as you will see here, it's going to be purl off, knit on, and then knit off, purl on. So that's kind of easy to remember because it's the reverse of normal Kitchener. Now my next two stitches, you can see that I have a purl stitch followed by a knit stitch. So this is going to be slightly different. We're going to purl off, purl on, and then on the back needle we're going to purl off, if I can get the needle through properly, and then knit on. I should point out here that I'm actually using a needle that's not very good for grafting with. You ideally want to use a blunt ended needle. I'm using the wrong kind of needle here, which is making it a bit trickier. Now my next two stitches, you can see they're both knit stitches, so this is just standard grafting. This is knit off, purl on, and then purl off, knit on. And now again, this is the first step that I demonstrated. This is going from a knit stitch to a purl stitch. So again, we're going to knit off, knit on, knit off, and then purl on. So you can see that there's four different steps really. There's regular grafting, there's grafting when you're going from knit to purl, there's grafting when you're going from purl to knit, and then there's reverse stockinette grafting, which is the exact opposite of normal stockinette grafting. And if you'd like to see all these options written out, because it's probably easier to follow when they're written out, there's a post on my blog which has it all explained in more detail with some photos, so I'll put a link to it at the end there. And here you can see the finished result. Once I've fixed all the tension issues, you can see that it follows the pattern of knits and purls perfectly. So I hope you found that helpful. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.